Hello guys, welcome back to Midwest Coasters. My name is Anderson, and today we are going to be looking at a review of Orion. So I'm going to give my thoughts, a review, and it's just going to be a good time. And you guys are here along for the ride. So first I'm going to go over the layout, then I'm going to go over each of the individual elements and give my thoughts on how good this coaster is. Then I will be doing a overall review and be scoring it out of 10. This coaster is in my top 5, so you can expect it to be pretty highly rated and ranked. But now we're going to talk about the shoutouts for today. Today's shoutout is Hedgehog Coasters. The name will be above on the screen. And if you guys want to be shouted out, comment below in the comment section. Comment anything. Now, let's get straight into today's video. So, Orion, obviously, is located at Kings Island. It is the newest addition to the park, coming in 2020. And I would say many people got out to ride it this year. And that would include me. So I went out there pretty early in the season, about mid-June. Park opened, I believe, on the 12th, and we came around the 13th or 14th. So I was there pretty early. I got to experience that ride in probably its greatest form. Although it probably wasn't warmed up for the season yet, so I can't guarantee that. Anyway, so let's talk about the ride experience. I got 5 rides. I waited probably only 3-4 hours total for all 5 of those rides. My first 2 I walked on, and the final 3 were like 45 minutes each. Anyway, so you go up the lift hill. You have the amazing drop. I would say best in the back row, but that drop is not everything on this ride. I believe there's the wave turn before the turnaround, which is very similar to the treble clef. In a way, it's not that similar, but it's kind of similar to the treble clef in the way it kind of turns around. Then there is a speed, I believe a speed airtime hill, and then you go into a much taller airtime moment where the trims come in, and that kind of hinders the rest of the ride, and that's where I feel like you're going to get the better experience in the front row. That's where it kind of switches. You make a right turn, there's a helix, which is really forceful. I would say mostly in the front row just because the wind kind of in your face. Then you go to the left, you go on the twisted airtime moment, which is by far best moment on the ride, before you come into the station. Now, which row is the best? I would have to say the front row, and it's mainly because of that trim. The most unique elements on the coaster are slowed down a bit, and I bet if they had a trimless day or a trimless week, you would be getting a much better experience, and you might change your mind. Of course, each day is different, depending on the weather and other factors. The trims will be on at different, capacities. So it could be much slower, much faster certain days. Anyway, so I would say the ride was running pretty fast when I went. I got a ride in the front, 2 rides in the back, a ride in the second to back row, and a ride in the second row. So, so I got all sorts of experiences, not really the middle, but on what coaster do you know is the middle the best, other than, like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of it. There's definitely coasters that's true, but not this one. I'd say best experience front, second best back, and I'm sure the middle is somewhere in the middle. Anyway, so yeah, now let's talk about each element individually. What are some of the most unique elements on this? Twisted airtime moment, that actually a pretty good wave turn that gives you some forces. And the helix is really intense. So this review's been going on for a little bit, and I really don't want to keep this going too long. So I am going to give my thoughts. What do I think this is ranked out of 10? So this is my number 5 coaster, just behind Raging Bull, believe it or not, in front of Diamondback, and behind other rides like Top Thrill Dragster, Steel Vengeance, and Millennium Force. But where does this ride rank? So I said number 5, but out of 10, what is it? I've talked about some other coasters. I would give this about an 8.5. Now, I know it's a top 5 coaster, and you'd expect higher from a top 5 coaster on my list. But believe it or not, this is an 8.5. It's not that good. It's a top tier hyper, but a very low tier Giga. I say that pretty often, because it's not that good of a Giga. It's not as tall. Shortest of the Gigas, not that fast. The slowest of the Gigas, although you don't really notice that. And just not as good as the rest of the Gigas I've written. So that's going to wrap it up for this video. I'd like to hear your thoughts, what you have to say about my opinions. Now, again, they're opinions, so they're not facts. And if you have a different opinion, I'd like to hear that, because I'd just like to hear what you guys have to say. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time here on Midwest Coasters. Goodbye.